And we're back, 7 listeners. And seeing none, the next one is the defending OUSD. Actually kind of goes right into, it's a good segue since the Board of Education.
Do you want, sorry, Vicente, did you
Yes.
want to do the rest of that list?
Oh, didn't we kind of mount it all into city council and everything else? We can. City council's district 2, 4, and 6. It's the evens. Do you want to start us off on that, Michael? Do you have something?
Well, no, I don't. I just think that I didn't want to just gloss over the list if we were going through this list.
Greg, you had your hand.
Yeah, well, so you have incumbent Nikki Bass for 2. You got Janani, who, fought a valiant race against Mia Banta for state assembly for District 4. And Paulina Gonzalez apparently is the executive director of a nonprofit, the California Reinvestment Coalition, something like that.
Sounds terrible.
So don't know too much about her, but I think she's got involved in local politics a couple of years ago, and now that Lauren Taylor is going for mayor, she's been apparently tapped to fill the seat. So they're the only candidates that I've heard about, and I would guess that certainly for districts 2 and 4, it's probably well on its way to wrapping up the front runner status on those.
Calling myself. It's the same thing. 2 things. One, I just put a link in the chat. So yes, confirm that we do have a permanent piece on that we would looking to recruit candidates and to be green. So yes, it's always up on our website. But I think, again, going directly to like the city councils and the evens and even the city auditor, everything, even though I do believe that, yes, we need Green Party dog catchers and Parks and Rec department. For the city council and stuff like that, we have to convince someone to be their staff, right? We'd have candidates elected already if we had the actual, support and foundation under them, right? I mean, look what we did for Don when it was just really myself, Dale, and top of the bottom of the hill. I only know them now by their handle on Instagram. Fuck. I was gonna say excuse my language, but can't remember that. Not Keith. Never mind. I really can't remember them.
Kyle.
We had Kyle. Yes, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Guys, they're gonna kill me. And I'll go back to Dale too, where I'm like, oh, I'm getting older and things are starting to not run up on the RAM inside of the hard drive and stuff. I'm like, whoa, okay, all right. That's the only thing I know about getting older. So I think when we're doing our outreach, the thing that we have to push is we need your time more than your money. Oh, we will totally take your donation. And when we get to the merch and stuff, we'll talk about that with the shirts, but really we need your time and you need to support. Are you doing okay? Right. And again, using that humor, right, which I've used like a bunch of times, that joke to, no, wait, you're right. Everything's fine. What the fuck am I thinking? Right. Let's pack up and go home. Michael and Jan will be there. Yeah. What are we doing? Let's go have lunch. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need everything's fine. Boy, it sure is nice weather. A flood. Can't breathe. Anyway, sorry. Over. Mika, please.
Yeah. Is it me or is the sound really, really loud, or is this my computer that's going crazy? Because I can hardly hear you by the time that sound hits my hearing aid. That goes, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure. Is it foul for anybody else but me?
No. It's okay with
I
that.
got a problem on this end.
It could be because even here, usually Bill is loud, but he's not loud on my computer today. Yeah, sound is fine here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I know no one will object when we go to outreach to pushing these things and as our ideas here. So I don't think that's a big thing. But again, anyone have anything on city council candidates of even a name that may have structure already? Boots, other than that too?
Nope.
I bet I can muster the energy. I mean, I'm going to be emailing one person. I can send it to Boots contact and see, at least ask what it would take to get him to run, even if it's not as a Green. Now, he would be, I mean, he would never register Democrat or Republican, but he would actually be someone that I would break the fucking thing I just said to. I would totally, Oakland Greens, I think I would
We
endorse.
could support him.
Yes, yeah.
If he doesn't.
Right. All right. I will commit to that as well. I'm doing the one. Anything else on city council districts? Again, agree, don't want to gloss over. What about the only other name up there was city auditor?
No. She's a bourgeois politician.
What is oh man, fuck, really? Cherise Caramouze, is he an accountant?
So no, he owns a business.
Oh, okay. I thought he was. Yeah.
He and his wife own a business that's involved in I think beauty care for women.
Too bad, because I bet he would have, if he was an accountant. I think he'd make a good city auditor. And we can never get, I mean, I know Laura wants to stay local and more state oriented. Would she run for city auditor? She ran for comptroller of the state.
She's running again.
She is
As a statewide candidate.
Okay. And then is anything else on the city auditor or any of the elections? Yeah, seeing none. Now we can move on. And again, thank you for pulling me back, Michael. The OUSD. And did you want to start on that, Michael? That was.
I do. Basically, what's gone on is the fact that the FICMAT, which is the state body which regulates the spending of local school boards, has launched an attack on Oakland, and in partnership with the county superintendent of public instruction. They're saying that the Oakland schools, I can quote it. I actually got a flyer. There were 3 flyers handed out at the press conference on Friday, which I attended. And one of them is the history of all this. And that's the wrong one. This one. Yeah. Basically, in November, the Alameda County Superintendent Monroe designated the Oakland Unified School District as a lack of growing concern, and chose, among other available recommendations, to assign the county office fiscal crisis and management team, FICMAT, to review teacher hiring practices, teacher retention, percentage of provision of highly qualified teachers, and the extent of teacher misassignments, as well as potentially assigning a fiscal expert analyzing fiscal and budgetary conditions, including internal controls, and directing the district to submit a financial projection. Later, that turned out to be a request for Oakland to cut $90 million out of this local budget. The budget is about $600 million, as I recall. And so it's almost a sixth of the local budget they want cut, which of course would be the precondition for additional school closures, and that failure to do so apparently would be cause for suspending the local school board, basically stop paying the expenses of the local school board, including stop paying the district, the district supervisor of the Oakland Unified School District, who's a hiree of the board, and the board itself, stripping them of their money. And so it has triggered a response. Let me just say a word about Friday's press conference. Was the opening shot in the response. there were about, I don't know, 20 to 30 people there. The person administering the press conference was Walter Riley, who's a longtime political activist and father of Boots Riley. And it seemed to be a project of some of the more progressive Democrats and the Oakland Post. The Oakland Post has played a big role in this press conference. And there were a number of important speakers. The president of the OEA spoke. The Mia Bonta spoke. Trying to think who else. My brain is tired already.
Elisa Castro, who is running in place to replace Karen Monroe.
Right, and there were a number of others. But the big thing that I want to raise here is this is the beginning of a campaign. I mean, that a number of the speakers emphasized that this press conference was just the beginning of something and not the end of something. And the next, what I'm understanding is the next thing is going to be a public community roundtable in January that's being organized by the people who organized the press conference. And so my concern is we ought to have a statement on our website about this as quickly as we can. And the second thing is I would like for us to try and shoehorn ourselves into this process, organizing this community forum. There's going to be some kind of local process to organize the community forum. There are some concerns. I've talked to Don McClay about this. He's paying attention to this, and he said that he expects the community forum the people organizing the community forum to try and limit the speakers to a more liberal position. And so we're going to, if something else is going to be put forward, we're going to have to be prepared to help build that. And that's what I'm arguing for right now. I'll just say one last thing, and that is Walter Riley on the way. I was on my way back. The thing was almost over, and I was leaving the press conference. So Walter Riley caught up with me and asked, and said what I thought of it. And I said, I thought it was a good start, sort of non-committal. And I said, I'd very much like to be involved in the organizing of this community forum. And he said he'd get back to me, and we'll see if he ever does. But that's where it stands at this moment. Over.
Bill, you're next in queue, please.
Right. Let me add a few things. One is there has been organizing preceding the Thursday press conference. There is a petition already. We brought it to the Labor Council, of course, and have been reaching out to a number of people, although I think in addition to the role that the Post has played, and Ken Epstein in particular, based on sort of some of the recent efforts at similar projects, not only Walter, but Ken's ex, Kitty, will be central people in that. I'll just give a little background, so maybe you all know this, but I'll just give a thumbnail sketch. The legal basis for this goes back to 1991. And it was a bill called AB 1200, which I believe Don Parada authored or co-authored in response to the bankruptcy of the Richmond Schools, aka West Contra Costa County School District. And in that bill, and I should say, FCMAT does not administer by in its name monies that are spent by districts. That is done through the state budget as regulated by Prop 98. But FCMAT, that is the Fiscal Crisis Management and Assistance Team, is the hired gun. And it's unelected, by the way. It's headquartered in Bakersfield. And when there is, quote unquote, a crisis, they are brought in. And people probably remember that there was actually a specific measure back in 2003 to put Oakland under total state receivership. And so that goes beyond FCMAT. That is actually bringing in a person who will be the administrator. In that case, it was, oh God.
Randy Ward.
Randy Ward, yes, thank you. And FCMAT was in the background describing what was necessary to get out of state receivership. Part of that was and in many ways it was critical, was that they had a state financial liaison, or I should remember his title, but anyway, that even to this day overlooks the district budget, or at least can strongly object to, which he did, the possibility of, for example, the reparations for Black student proposal. But the original legislation, and then when it got wrapped into the local control funding formula, gives the county board the power to okay or deny a budget of any school district within its purview, within the county. San Francisco, I think, is somewhat an exception, the only one in the state. And obviously, they're also going through something of a similar phenomenon right now.
They've already surrendered.
Well, I understand, but how it'll be administered is another question. And what the political response of UESF and others will be is still, they always were in a somewhat different circumstance of Oakland and a few places in Southern California. But now they are obviously under the gun. Why Oakland has been targeted is a long-term project, going back to the strikes, going back to the struggle around class size, the role of the Gates and Broad foundations and other neoliberal groupings. But the point I think to be made also is that, at least in the more recent times, there have been some state superintendents of education who clearly have been the voice of the corporate elite. But even where so-called liberals have gotten in and fought off some of these same forces, people like Tom Torlakson and now Tony Thurmond, they obviously have okayed these kinds of measures. I'm not saying they necessarily initiated them, but they certainly have and fought to. One of the things that's being done now through the OEA and others is an appeal to Thurmond to take a stand against.
He's already turned it down.
That I hadn't heard yet, but I'm not surprised. So the fact is, that it's not only the closing of schools, although that's central to it, but it's a crushing of any insurgency by parent groups, community and labor, especially the OEA, but other unions as well. And, we should continually point out that when the state came in 18 years ago, it was around a $37 million deficit. By the time they left, and they never really totally left, but at least the Randy Ward was out the door, they had boosted that to around 110 million in deficit. As well as the fact that the documentation has shown that school closures do not save money, they actually cost money. So it'll be a big fight. Another person who spoke, of course, was Mike Hutchinson, who has pointed out the kind of manipulation of the budget, which has gone on for a number of years now. So anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say, take a breath. I am calling on myself. So first, we have a writing team, but again, not a lot of energy. So what would have to happen as far as getting statements out, Michael, someone would have to email me bullet points, and we could put something together of like different facts that you wanted to make sure that we cover. And then we could do that. If it was emailed to me, we can get that going.
I will send you the thing that was handed out, which is a history of FICMAT, and it goes all the way up to November of 2021.
Do you want that on the website as it is?
I do. I think that would be very useful. This
Okay.
is information the public should have and doesn't, for the most part.
We have an education tab. Easy. That part is easy to do. Yes, please email it to me.
Well, let's see. How would I do that?
Yeah.
Oh, is it just
I just have a piece of paper. I can Xerox one and mail it to you.
well, no, then I still have to type it all out. And
Yeah,
it's
right.
pretty long. But someone has to someone else typed it out already. If you could reach out to them and see if there is.
Well, I don't know the person who typed it.
No, there's nobody, no author.
There's an individual, there's a person signed it, but I don't know this person, and there's no contact information for this person.
Well, if you can get it to somebody who can simply scan it.
Or if you
I
can
would say
take a
to
picture,
the OEA office, but
Take a picture or
take a
we.
picture and text it, and I can convert it into a PDF file or
Yeah,
a
that's
Word
right.
file.
if you just take a picture on your phone and then.
Well,
Uh,
I
Yeah,
don't
they
have
don't have
that equipment.
Well, the other one is Google the author, the name that's on it, but no contact. If we Google that name. it
I
should-
could try that, yeah.
I could also stop by if you want me to photo it and then forward it.
Okay, did you get one of these?
No, I wasn't at the press conference, but I can stop by your place and take a
Oh,
photo.
okay, I'll make you a copy.
Okay,
No, you
there
don't
we go.
need to give me a copy. I would take a photo and then
Okay.
forward it.
Fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hopefully it'll be, legible in terms of the size of it, but.
Okay,
And I think always all this is stuff we should be shouting. I'm already kind of going over. Again, I always want to try and use humor and things or levity as far as directing. It would be like something of, since this is something Michael's passionate about, when we're at the table and they're going to relieve me, I was like, oh, you want to talk about education? You should go and, there's your, direct people over to discuss it. And again, that puts it out there. Anything else on this particular part of?
well, there'll be, it should become a regular part of our agenda for as long as this struggle continues. And
Okay.
I'm sure that things will continue to be happening, for sure.
Okay, and I will keep it up there. Yeah, that's easy to do. Anything else on that for right now?
Not that I can think of.
And seeing none. The next one's super easy when we're out tabling, just using it as a game to, very easy, just trying to actually register 3 new Green Party members when we're out. Does anyone have questions about that? I don't think so. Right, we're all good. Yeah, last ones are, oh yes, Orlando.
I have a suggestion. I think that should be a daily challenge. Each of us Greens, each month, at least get 3 people registered or be a part of it, and see how many people we can get registered amongst us and give out a green prize at the end of the month or whatever.
Definitely, even if you don't do 3, yeah, we can keep a tally and make a game out of it. I'm all for that. I love it. Done and done. Anything else on that part? And seeing none. The last ones are easy. We now can take online donations. We are completely, and I'm going to actually expand to go Venmo as well as PayPal, even though it's the same. They own it as well. We have, let me get the $933. That's after paying the $238, $283 and I actually tipped. I paid straight $300 for the merchandise. Yeah, so we're all completely legal and that too. And I added on PayPal for people to be able to make recurring donations. So we can almost start like a Patreon type, like people can put $5 a month now. I will be customizing it and throwing myself into that all next week. Social media, again, getting actual engagements and it raises as far as people goes up to outreach, goes with the tabling, the green merch. I will say that, and I said it pre-recording, actually, we are getting very positive feedback on the new Korean True Sound of Liberty logo. I had that last night. 2 people had mentioned it and people, thumbs up. Again, it's just also part of the hashtag be seen being green. When we do all of our, anytime we go out to events, I'm wearing Green Party stuff. And now we have the new merch and we have actually already sold one shirt. So I'm trying to do that and I will get that up on the website next week as well. So people can start ordering online. That's it for all of that. And I do see, Meager, you have a question or a comment, please go ahead.
She's must be muted.
Yeah, I gotta unmute there.
Okay, I have a question because it seems like the last time I came to the meeting, you were taking a vote about changing bank accounts and all of this stuff. So did that all get done? And that's where the new stuff is coming up from?
I have picked up that's good because I didn't bring it up on my own, to see about going to a credit union. If not, we have already someone at Summit Bank that we've used for campaigns before that would love to have us. Bank of the West doesn't, it's not just us. They want to get rid of the dealing with the paperwork of handling political parties at all, even though we're not. So it is, and I'm not waiting, even though right now there is an email. Don still wants to discuss it, but I'm not waiting because now that we actually can take online donations, once I switch, I have to switch all of that stuff on all of our platforms. So I want to get that all done before the 1st of January. So even though I am we're possibly meeting next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. Most likely, if I have the energy tomorrow, I will be out closing a bank account and at least trying to confirm with the credit union if they will be fine taking us. It has something, the only hesitation is about something about fundraising and donation base. And I'm like, well, we do take donations, but we also, we're not an official political party, we're a club and we sell merchandise, we buy food for events that we host and things like that. So she's like, oh, I think we may be able to. So I'm in communication to do that as well. So, but yes, that is definitely part of it. Is that I wanted to, Bank of the West doesn't want us and I don't want them. It is very, very hassle to go in and deposit. I'm not able to see our account online. And it's just not very 21st century. And it just adds way more stress to really trying to hold it together. I give myself credit, but I also am very, very transparent about that. It's still, again, trying to navigate this system and live and all that, it's like taking a breath of water and sinking down until you can't go no more. And then you fucking panic and just get yourself up to get a little breath. So this would actually be kind of a big weight off of my shoulders to be able to just, be able to just look at it and manage our account online, without having to make a trip all the way to it would be great. So yes, to answer your question, that was a very long answer to that. And your hand's still up. Do you have another question?
Yes, I did, and I'll be brief.
Oh, go ahead.
Last time you asked me to ask my housemate to do some transcribing.
Translating.
Translation, I'm sorry, into Spanish, but I'm not sure when you wanted that. I think I passed that on, but I can't find the information in my files on the computer. So you needed to let me know when you needed to have that so I can help him. It's
Right.
not right now.
I didn't want to put any pressure. I sent everything over to them, so whenever they could get it to it, if they wanted a real timeline, if they could get it to us by May, by springtime, when the weather will be nice and we'll definitely be going out every Saturday, that would be great. Even if he had like the schools and the Oakland, even just a couple of them, would be great if we had it by spring. But I don't want any pressure on them at all. I did send everything, and I can resend it if you can't find the actual text. But I'm just excited that someone is actually stepping up. We need people more than we need money. Actually, we do pretty good right now as far as fundraising for what we do. So that would be great. Just whenever.
So if you would resend those things to me, I'll make sure he gets it, because if he's asking me about it, it
Right.
means that it's
Yeah, for sure.
off the
Yes.
computer too.
I would say 50-50 that I do it tonight. It's still kind of like my night off and, just stress, but definitely tomorrow I will, because I am kind of throwing myself into Oakland Greens stuff
Okay.
next week. So,
No problem.
and that's an
Just wanted
easy
to follow.
one to just resend it to you because it's already there. I just go back into my sent files and just resend it again. Yeah, that will
Thank
take
you.
2 minutes.
Thank you, Vicente.
You're very, very welcome. And I'm glad you brought that up. That was incredible. Oh, yes, Greg, please.
Yeah, so going back briefly to the meeting that Don wanted to have on either Tuesday or Wednesday, he also included Dale and Orlando on that message. And I don't know, is Orlando still here?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, you are there, okay. For some reason, your video looked like you were disappeared, but anyway. Orlando, do you want to be part of that on either Tuesday or Wednesday evening?
I don't know what it's about, but I'll rock with it.
It's about changing bank accounts and funding stuff.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with you.
All right, well,
It's a Zoom one.
Vicente, then, if Dale wants to be part of it, then we should just pick the date, because, if Dale can make both dates, or we can only make one, then we just pick the date and set it up.
Right, yeah, to make it up too. I haven't even heard from Don which one of those days he said either one, but he hasn't even picked. I'll send out again tomorrow morning for sure. I will send out an email to all of us to nail down picking a date, and I'll make the Zoom meeting.
Okay, well, the thing is that we've sent out several emails and Dale just hasn't responded. I don't know if Dale's just not interested or he's busy in a way because he's not here, but so.
I think Dale is burnt out a little bit. I mean, I am in contact with Dale all the time. And I think that's why he's not here, because he even asked me, do you need me as a note taker? And I was like, no, we record the meetings. It's no necessary, I can go back.
Okay, well then, just flip a coin, pick a date then.
Well, no, we have to check. Don's the real one that's kind of organized. I'm going to probably do it next week, no matter what comes out of whichever day. The sooner the better.
Well, we're talking 2 days from now, this coming Tuesday.
I know, and if I have the energy tomorrow and I don't do it into like graphics, or because I have to do all the Eventbrite for what we have now, and I have to cancel January and kind of make all that stuff up until March and May. If I don't, I will go to the banks, and I just don't want, this has been going on for such a long time, and it has been such a hassle, and I am,
Oh, yeah,
right,
that's fine. I'm just saying that if Don still wants to have the meeting, then, you know, we should pick it so we know, put it on our calendars, that's all.
but yeah, agreed, right, so
Okay.
hopefully you answer, and if he doesn't, then it doesn't matter, because I'm just gonna go to a more user-friendly bank or credit union anyway.
Do you have a credit union in mind?
Yes, Provident, it's the same one I use for my personal
Okay.
too. I've worked with them for years, and they're local here in Oakland, and they're just in the Bay Area. They're not national or anything like that.
That's good.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah,
Even the bank that Summit Bank is actually literally just, they have 3 branches, and it's only here in Oakland. Started by a woman too. Anyway, so is there any announcements?
No.
Sure. Oh, Orlando, you have one? Yes, please. Oh, gotta unmute. Unmute.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work, and everyone, you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Right. And if there's nothing else, I move we adjourn. Oh, no, sorry, Mika. Yes, please.
Have great holidays, everybody.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Be well, everyone. Peace out.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.